Welcome to my video, Mixed Media Spiral Energy. So right here I'm getting started with some white gesso on the background just to thicken the pages and make it easier for me to work on later. Here I'm showing just a clear surface, and I'm about to add a bunch of ripped up pages of paper. I've just taken an old magazine and I'm about to prepare it and glue it onto the surface of the paper. Just a regular glue stick, or whatever you like to put it on. And after I'm adding some more gesso on the top, I want it to show through, but I don't want it to be totally showing through. And I found some words that I'm liking to scratch out of the paper that stand out for me. After I finish that, I'm putting a little more clear gesso on top of that to protect it. And now let's start with a little bit of color, and I'm starting with some warm colors, just adding whatever. This is nothing fancy. A lot of it's going to be covered up. Just continuing to add colors. After the warm colors were dry, I went ahead and started adding some cool colors. Just tipping it, spraying it, adding some colors I like. You can take away if you don't like. As you can see here, I peeled off a little bit of paper. Yeah, sure, it looks awful, but you know what? Let's work around it. And you'll see what I did to work around that. Didn't bother me at all that it was not looking what one would consider beautiful at that time. Here I am starting to add some interest to the picture. Just what I see. That's an old pot holder. And I'm adding some teal color to it on the top, just dabbing my brush on top of it and continuing to add to the picture. Now what am I going to do? Sometimes you just sit back and take a look at it. Here I'm going to add a little bit more. I'm feeling like I want to add some dark to it, so I'm adding a little bit of dark green. I like it. And here I'm just showing everybody a little bit of some of the different tools that I use for making marks. A lot of it's just old found toys. You can see I have old brushes, an old toothbrush or whatever somewhere in there. That's for making circles, bubble wrap. Continue looking at a few of the pieces that I use for making marks. And then it's time to get back to my picture. And at this point, I have decided, or I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. So I'm moving the page around. There's no top or bottom on this page at this point. So getting some ideas, and I'm deciding at this point to work on what I think that I like the best, which happens to be the focal point. And I'm adding some black. When I'm doing finer lines or when I'm using my paintbrush, I just water it, the black, whatever color it is, I just water it down a bit. And it makes it a lot easier to pull along the page, because at this point, this page is actually quite rough, which I like, because if I want something to stick to it, it sticks quite well. So at this point, I'm just moving along, just like doodling, basically. So as you can see, I've added a few more things. I'm going to go ahead and you'll see what's going to happen next.
Okay, I'm back. I did a few embellishments from the last time. I added a few things here, some dots along here. I added a few dots along here. I found this antique gold. It's called Metallic Paint by Duncan. That is pretty cool. I've also got some other metallic-y interference colors that I'm going to try putting on. Basically, what they do is they just make things glittery, like really shine, and when you move the picture, the color comes out on it. So I did put the metallic around here and down along here. And another thing I did was I went along the edge and smudged it. And I'm going to do more of that, so you'll see how I do it. So at this point right now, I'm kind of just adding whatever I see that I want to add to make things pop and just fun, add some fun. So let's have at her. I can see that what do I want to pop on this? I want this circle to pop. This is important to me, so I'll start with that. And I just take my graphite pencil and go around the edge, and then I just smudge. So you can see it really changes it. It makes this come forward, if you like that effect. See this side, it just kind of looks all the same level. Now that I've done this, this comes forward and this becomes the background. I really like black. Black just brings out the light. Contrast is just a really nice thing to add to your work. If you like things poppy, maybe you like a more subtle look, but even in subtle, you still need to have that contrast to be able to see what your focus is. And there should be some kind of focus in your picture. If you have really no focuses, like what's my focuses in this? This is obviously the main, biggest thing. These are more subtle things to the side. I've incorporated kind of like they're companions because I've stuck with colors that go together. Like I've kept the blue, the teal, so it sort of talks to each other. You kind of want to, even though there's a ton of stuff going on here, a ton of color going on here, I have main colors, and teal is the main one. Pink is another one that I've got going on. Yeah, I love that pink. That's really fun. This here, I do pan pastels, and it's just kind of a little tool that goes along with it. But you can use those brushes some makeup brushes as well. Actually, this looks really good. I like it better. It gives me a little bit more control. See, it's good to try something different. If you sort of feel like, something's not quite working, use your imagination, go grab something. Yeah, that's nice. I like this yellow in there, though I don't want to lose that. And then when I very first put the pan pastel on the brush like this, it's really too much almost. So I'll take a little bit off here so I don't make this big blob of black that maybe I can't get off. Because it is actually fairly gritty. So do it as a slow process. So I've finished up my project here. I'm happy with it how it is now. I continued to add different embellishments. Just cleaned this up, add a little bit more teal on this side, and made it kind of look like this. I kind of changed it up. Added some pink here and there to make it pop a bit. And that's it. I like it the way it is. I hope you've enjoyed my video, and this was my process. Everybody's process is a little bit different, but these are some of the tools that I've used, and this is the first video I've done like this, so I will have to edit it and we'll see how it turns out. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.